seriously, like, this shit right here shouldn't be happening. The whole, oh hey, we're just gonna have issues. How about, no, please, we don't need it. Ah, God. Alright, let's do it. Whatever. Alright, so what we're gonna do is internet totally see you know. Okay. Just go back to this. No, I say go back to this. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do this instead, because clearly we need to. Wrong game, everybody. I meant to choose Ultimate Doom, not Doom 2. Whoops. Alright, there we go. Your game, knee deep in the dead, too young to die. I can't believe I accidentally chose Doom 2. I think it was because it was already highlighted. That was hilarious. Wait, I did not. So we're playing Ultimate Doom. And after I'm done with episode 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be playing GeoGuessr. So apparently I can't play Toy Story 2, which not going to happen unless I decide to just not. Oh, that's cool. would stream the game is, like, if I get new equipment for my N64, not NES, my N64, and maybe recording equipment for that. Yes, I know some people are gonna be like, why don't you just use that? Like, why don't you just play the game like the old-fashioned way? Because I can. The game just lagged a little bit whenever I got a secret. Like, seriously, I'm running this on a source port, which my PC is more than capable of running. Yet somehow the game was just like, almost lag for a second. About that V-Sync thing, like, if I were to have it off, it would look like those walls are, like, turning into, like, slanted things. And I have it on, so I don't know why it looks like it isn't. Elevator! Or should I say elevator? Wait, no, that's for Terraria. But, yeah, in all seriousness, though, I'm very sorry I wasn't able to do the, tourist, I almost said tourist story. No, Toy Story 2 stream. I really wanted to. I was going to. The problem is, as soon as I started playing the game, like, as soon as I actually started doing stuff, like, all of a sudden I look over to my laptop and I see that it's just, like, not showing what I'm doing. It said live stream offline, so I had to close the game, find out that OBS crapped out, and I'm like, apparently I shouldn't be running this in modern hardware. The Toy Story game, not this. Also, I have a question. So, as you all know, there was a shooting that happened in El Paso, then another one in Dayton, Ohio, and of course politicians playing video games. Here's a question. Which came first? Video games or violence? Video games or firearms? Video games or bad behavior? If your answer is all of the above over video games, then yes, you're right. Like, the whole point is that it's not video games that do this stuff, and it's certainly not, oh, mental illness. It's not any of that at all. It is, in fact, a mixture of bad parenting, issues in school, and ease of access to firearms and or certain kinds of markets where someone may get a firearm. So we're not pointing the blame on the guns unless you're a Democrat. Although, ironically enough, some Democrats actually own guns. But seriously, then people blame games like this. Doom. A game that, when it first came out, sure, it was controversial. You know, because, for one thing, it was a first-person shooter. And it was, like, pretty immersive at the time. But here's the thing. We're talking about a game set in fiction, where most of the weapons in the game either don't exist in real life, or they do exist, but are drastically different from what they would actually be. This weapon that I'm using right now, the chain gun, is based on a minigun / Gatling gun. As such, life would perform differently because it would have a much higher fire rate. But then we have the people who are like, well, what about the Call of Duty games and Fortnite. Okay, first of all, Call of Duty, that's a game made to be a military shooter. As a soldier, not some crazy soldier. Second of all, Fortnite, we're really pointing the blame at Fortnite when it's literally the least violent game to feature firearms. Like, we're crying out loud, you don't even die in the game. All that happens is that your character starts to look like they're about to fall down, and a drone flies over them, also flows over them. Yeah, they'll fly over their head, and then warp them away. That's all that happens. There's no blood in the game, it's just, like, spark-looking things that come off your character. Like, and then we say, oh, well, it's violent video games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hasn't violence been around since the dawn of time? Since before video games were even a thing? Please note, video games weren't a thing in household areas up until the 70s with the advent of the Atari 2600. Or I think it might have been before then, but seriously, we don't need to blame that. We need to blame, again, bad parents. And while video games aren't directly to blame, there is something I can blame. Irresponsible parents who buy little kids video games that are intended to be for older audiences. For example, the Final 5, or any of the Grand Theft Auto games. With this game, even though, again, Doom nowadays seems kind of tame because we have, like, much more violent stuff in video games. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not video games. It is a mixture of piss poor parenting. I'm not saying all parents are bad. It's just the ones who decide, maybe little Jimmy would like this new Call of Duty game. He's been asking for it for months. Did anyone forget what the ESRB is? So to the people asking, well, why don't we, do something about those video games? Crack down on violent video games. Have a new ratings board or something. The ESRB exists for a reason. The ESRB, otherwise known as the Entertainment Software Ratings Board, is designed to differentiate audiences from one age rating to another depending on what the game is. For example, Doom right here is a rated M game, meaning mature, meaning 17 and up. A rating below that is teen, or 13 and up. Please note, I have played rated T and rated M games whenever I was a kid growing up, but it was a rare opportunity, although I did play rated T games more often. That is not to say, however, that they affected my behavior in any sort of way, because for one thing, I knew right from wrong, and I knew what was real and what was fake. But then we have E10, which used to not be around, but the E10 rating came around when Shadow the Hedgehog was about to come out. Like, it was around that time whenever that game came out, so, yeah. Yeah, I know it's kind of cheating a bit. But, like, if we're really gonna act like that rating board doesn't exist, then might I suggest something that will stir some minds. Picture this. Imagine if you were an employee at a game store such as GameStop, Game Exchange, or any kind of store that sells video games and video game accessories. No, that is not a King of the Hill joke. But think of it like this. What if you were an employee at a store like that, and a parent comes in with their kid, and they're like, I'm here to get this game for my son, and the kid looks like they're no more than maybe 11 years old. And of course, the first thing out of that parent's mouth is, I want to get my kid this new Call of Duty game. Like, here's the thing. I have no issues with the employees, selling the merch to the customer. It's their job. And customers are, of course, the customer. They buy the product so that way they or someone that they know or love will enjoy it. But what I have a problem with is the parents. When they choose to get their kids, like, that hot new Call of Duty game. And yes, I'm even talking about the inevitable future where parents will get kids the new Call of Duty game, which actually looks really cool. Although we haven't seen, like, single-player gameplay footage yet. Like, we've seen footage of the single-player campaign, but that was just from the announcement. But, like, what needs to happen is, from now on, as a new protocol for game stores like this, like GameStop, they need to first ask the parents, first and foremost, how old their child and loved one is. And if they answer with, my child and loved one is, under 18 or under 17, they should be denied access to buying that game for their kid, because of the fact that rated M games are specifically designed for older audiences. For one thing, it's not necessarily because, it's because of bad stuff. Actually, it is. But it's also because of the fact that those games for a kid, they're gonna be hard, But, like, the whole parents buy the games. Yeah, that's the issue. It's not the employees at the stores' fault. It is, the parents' fault for choosing to get their kids those games. So then those same parents turn around and say, well, this shooting is all the video game's fault. Did the video game tell them to do that? No. The person decided to do so. Don't point at mental illness, because I have a mental illness, but it doesn't cause me to go around and stuff. And another thing, video games are not meant to be a murder simulator. And we have games like Grand Theft Auto, which have, stealing automobiles and stuff, and having a wide variety of guns. The thing is, games are meant to teach people how to do stuff. They're meant to be a product designed to escape from reality. Not in a physical sense where you get teleported, but in a more mental sense where it decreases stress. Now, we know this because I've been playing games since I was like maybe 4 or 5 years old. In fact, my first ever game system was actually a SNES. Actually, it was loaned to me by my uncle. Of course, I don't know where it is now, but I thought I'd give it to my cousin's school. But I remember one year on Christmas, I got a GameCube, which is really cool. Sadly, I don't have it anymore. But one of the games I got was like Mortal Kombat. Thinking, well, did you know that Samus was a girl when you got that game? Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I hated the game. Instead, I saw that the rating on the game was rated T, and I thought, I probably shouldn't play that game because I'm not old enough for it. Because in my inner mindset, I thought, I probably shouldn't play games like that because I'd get in trouble. Of course, I didn't actually get in trouble, but I always avoided those games until I was old enough or around the age. Mainly because of the fact that I just didn't want to risk getting in trouble. But, yeah, so, for those wondering, video games are not meant to teach people to to answer the main question of do video games cause violence, no. Because I've been playing games since I was a young child, and not once, ever, even playing a rated M game on the few occasions when I was a kid, did I ever have the mindset of causing harm or damage to anyone or anything. Mainly because of the fact that I knew for a fact that the game was set in fiction, and since it wasn't real, it wasn't teaching me anything. Plus, if video games really did cause that stuff, wouldn't the game outright tell the player, hey, you did good, how about you do this in real life now? No. Unless the game says some kind of joke like, hey, you've been playing long enough, how about you go outside and experience some fresh air, go for a walk, visit a store. Now see, that'd be kind of funny, but I don't see a shooter saying, hey, you've killed enough of these guys, how about you get a machine gun and blast gangsters or something in real life. Because first of all, that'd be stupid as hell. Second of all, doing that would be ballsy as hell. Third of all, that's against the law to assault somebody for no good reason whatsoever. And finally, it would be even more stupid to pin the blame on, well, the video game told me to. Because, well, no, it didn't. A game didn't tell you to do that. You chose to do it by chance. So, there's my statement on this whole issue. Now, in my own personal thoughts about what happened recently, my thoughts are with the people who were afflicted by the El Paso shooting and, of course, the Dayton shooting, and not to mention the Chicago shooting, which injured 7 people, I believe. Probably thinking, well, I find it weird that playing a video game right now and talking about this. Well, first of all, I just felt like I should get this stuff off my chest. Second of all, okay, so I'm playing a rated M game as I'm talking about something that happened. That's not an allusion to anything, it's just me playing something I was planning on doing. But, in all seriousness though, yeah, the fact that these happen, like, within a span of not even a day was just terrible. And I deeply feel terrible for what the people had to go through. Like, what's even scarier and even tragic, not even tragic, but scary and tragic at the same time, is the fact that there was a mother and father who shielded their kids, which I think were babies or something. They sacrificed themselves to save their children. So you really have to think, what goes through those shooters' minds? You might think, well, it has to be this, right? Stuff like this, stuff like Call of Duty, stuff like all that. No. It has been proven scientifically, psychologically, time and time again, that this stuff right here, you know, video games in general, do not cause this stuff. There's no correlation or link whatsoever. It's just simply old wives' tale and man the hoax, whatever you call it. I should know. But all I've got to say is, like, the fact that the people who did these things would even have the audacity to think about doing this stuff is just, it's tragic. It's something that nobody would want to hear at all. And to hear that this stuff happened in such a short span of time, like the shootings of El Paso and Ohio respectively, those happened in less than a 24-hour span of time. Like literally, like in under a day. And it's just terrifying to think that 2 cents about all this. I know it's kind of weird for me to even talk about this stuff while playing, ironically enough, a first-person shooter, but, like, honestly, I don't know. Like, there was a time in the past where I would think against doing that, but for one thing, it's been like 2 days since what happened. But it's also the fact that I was already planning on doing Doom anyway, and I just didn't know when to do it. So there was more of just waiting to find a good time, and of course now is a good time. But the fact that I was talking about this stuff was just something that was on my mind, and I just wanted to speak my thoughts about it. So, to the people who were affected by that shooting, I deeply apologize for what you guys went through. It is certainly not right, in any sense of the word, to have to deal with that stuff under any circumstances. And I hope that justice is delivered in the most just way. Because, here's something I don't get. And I get that it does make sense to some people, but from my perspective, what I'm about to talk about is a little weird. So, in the Dayton, Ohio shooting, the shooter was killed. Right? That's a given. He was a threat in a menace to society, they had no choice. But what I don't get is how the shooter in El Paso, he was just apprehended. Like, did he surrender? Of course he did, But, even still, like, here's the thing, you gotta remember, like, last year when I turned 21 was, it was last year, because the year before that, in 2017, was whenever I turned 20, and, whenever I turned 20, I went to Cotton Patch Cafe for dinner. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, sorry about that. But, you all know what I'm talking about, right? So, for those who either don't remember or haven't heard, there was a mass shooting last year that just so happened to be on my birthday. Yeah, it's a terrifying thought and a terrifying fact that it happened right on my birthday. But we're of course talking about the Stone Douglas, Parkland shooting. And it was truly a very terrifying moment for not only the people who were actually within that situation, but just the people hearing about it. Because school shootings are terrifying. Because, think about it. There is somebody with the mindset of, I didn't have the best experience in school. How about we just concentrate on these people? Well, here's the thing. For them to do that, they're literally stripping the future of people who might want to do something good in their lives growing up. For example, what if someone wants to find the cure for a certain kind of cancer? What if someone wants to design technology that would change humanity for life? And then to just see that snatched from you right before your very eyes. very eyes. Am I gonna call for gun control though? Well, no. Why? Because guns aren't the problem. Guns do not kill people. Guns cannot act by themselves. The problem is the people. The people who choose to do this stuff. So, gun reform? Yeah, it would make sense. But under the guise of, stricter background checks, certain items of ammunition and or firearms must be either prevented from purchase or, can only be purchased by someone who is legally licensed. For example, a former military member who is qualified to use such firearms as, dare I say it, assault rifles. Although assault is not a name, it is a verb. But I'd like to call it a combat rifle or a battle rifle. You know what I mean. But for people to just sit in there and think, well, what's the gun's fault? Well, no. A gun didn't cause anything. It was the person behind the trigger. It wasn't mental illness. It was a variety of things, such as them having a terrible experience at home with their parents, along with, things such as experience at school, such as bullying, maybe something along the lines of them being abused or something like that. But that's still no reason to commit such an atrocity as willingly massacring, dozens of lives just because you're upset about that stuff. Counseling is an option. Of course, that isn't always the cure. Seeking asylum. I know I'm not about to make an immigrant joke. I don't even make jokes about that stuff because it's a very sensitive subject matter that I wish not to engage myself into. But yeah, so. Oh wow, double kill. But, for people like parents, media, yes, even who you think I'm talking about, the president, they're pointing the finger at video games. Because of course they do. Because they know that, hey, it's an easy target. This stuff. Okay, but here's a question. How long has violence and never-ending strife been around? To answer your question, it is a very simple answer. Since the dawn of time. Violence has been around for millennia. Meanwhile, video games have been around since the 70s. Maybe even earlier. If we're talking about, making games out of things you could do with electronics. But I'm talking about the 70s, where the Atari 2600 was the first commercial game console was to fruition. Back then, games weren't like this. They were simple games. The graphics were very simplistic. It was just, I don't even know what kind of bit technology. But, as the decades went by, games got more advanced. Up until the early 90s, when technology was blooming in a way that have some unintended consequences. I'm talking, of course, about the advent of 3D graphics and the advent of graphic content in video games. I'm not saying that content is what caused, shootings? No, of course not. Because for one thing, okay, I get it. Video games are pretty graphic nowadays, but not all video games are M games. There are quite a few games out there, such as, the new Crash racing game that came out months ago. That game is meant to be a family-friendly game, complete with multiplayer. But the whole general consensus is that, it was this, it was that. If I can prove it, is, again, go back to what I was talking about whenever I was saying, that, hey, throughout my life I've been playing games, and as I grew older I got to play games like this, but did it faze me? Well, because for one thing, my mind is able to comprehend this world and what is fake. This game is set in fiction, it's set in the future. Now, of course, the game has demons as the enemies, and demonic possession is a thing if you're doing that sort of beliefs in general. Of course, maybe I'm not one of those overly religious people, but what I'm trying to say is, I suppose what I'm trying to say is, people, if you're a parent and you have a kid that's no older than maybe like 11 years old or something, don't buy them a new rated M game just because they want it. Seriously, take the time to look at the game, and if you really think that they deserve a game like that, have checked. But if you believe that they shouldn't get a game like that because of how young they are, then you're of the right alley. And you should probably get them something that would be more age appropriate, but still something that they would probably like. Because something like this, I know it doesn't really seem like it's really a game nowadays, because, for one thing, I'm playing this on a source board, so blood splattering on the walls on the original Doom was not a thing, nor were the bullet hole effects on the wall. But back whenever Doom was first introduced, it was pretty graphic, but it seems tame nowadays. Now, there are Game Boy Advance ports of the game that were rated T, but that was because of the fact that they changed the blood color from, red to green, and of course bodies disappeared after a couple of seconds. And of course we have the whole English Game Boy. But, that's the whole thing, is they had to tone it down. Okay, I swear, I have I have V-Sync on. I don't know why that's doing that. This is like an optimization thing. precious little Billy or bouncing baby Bobby, you know, the next Call of Duty or what have you. It's not that at all. It's not that at all. Like, so don't think that it's not that. Like, at all. This little child, oh hey, do this, oh hey, do that. No, video games are meant to, in a sense, escape reality. In a physical sense, you're not teleporting into the game world. But what I mean is, it's meant to relieve stress, you know? Like, it's not meant to make you some kind of ultra super killer. It's meant to, you know, make you escape from all the stress that you've been dealing with. For example, again, a bad day at school where, you know, you've just been through a stressful day. Teachers been getting you rough, all that stuff. I'm not trying to rhyme there, but, you know, the point still stands. You know what I mean, right? Like, it's more of a way to escape from stuff. Oh, I didn't know there was a secret here. What the heck? Wow. I guess that's what I get for talking about stuff. In all seriousness, it's not games, the lack of parenting, because parents nowadays, they'll get their precious little they'll get their precious little kid, like, oh, I'm gonna get my precious little Bobby boy this new fangled Call of Duty game. How about you don't? Because they don't need to play games like this at the age of like 6.5 or something. Now, okay, I know I'm talking about this, but I'm not hasn't played games and seriously. But he's been able to handle it, right? So I know that makes my commentary about that kind of redundant. But honestly, like, stuff, right? Anyway, here we are at the final map of the episode before, you know, we head on to GeoGuessr. How often does that happen? Seriously, anytime I've been in this level, that never happened. It was always one pinky that was a little injured, so I shot it with a shotgun and died. Take that, bitch. Alright. Supercharge. That was awesome. It was Alright. My strategy is to wait for it. Pump the fuck out of you with rockets. How well these monsters will be able to detect me with stealth. Yeah, this is designed to hurt you even if all the enemies are dead. Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Aren't you? Where's your almost said faggot. I don't even say that word, I never do. I don't even like it. Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this place? It's not supposed to end this way. It stinks like rotten meat, but it looks like the Lost Damos base. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. Only one way out is through. Or only way out is through. Yeah, so there's that. So there's a bug in my screen. Get out there, you fucker. Alright, so that was Doom. Otherwise known as, well, that was fun. Speaking of fuckers, Ohio. That's not what I meant. Alright. By the way, I don't live in Ohio. It's this fish thing. Trying to find it. Oh, here it is. So this is really, really funny. So here it is. If you've ever wondered how lakes are stocked with fish, here it is. Thousands of native fish are being dropped from an airplane. Videos from the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources. This is where it gets This is so funny to me. Goodbye, bitches. And then this part gets to me. Pet smart fish lady. You have to be very careful not to jostle the goldfish. Then let him sit in the bag in the tank for an hour to let its temperature adjust to your tank, and then carefully pour it into the water. Utah fish official. Bounce away, fuckers. I don't know why, but that's so hilarious. Uh, oh, what the? Oh boy, furry memes. Nice. When another person gets the credit for inventing the airplane. Santos Dumont. Launching a catapult and glide in the air is not a plane, guys. That fish thing is so hilarious though. It's like, bombs away, fuckers. Alright. So, that'll do it for the Doom stream for tonight. Stay tuned for some GeoGuessr, because that'll be fun. Right? It will be great fun. Don't you worry. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I will see you guys in a bit. So hang on tight, folks.